Hello guys, welcome. So for today's flow, you're going to want a strap or something you can use as a strap, just anything you can loop around your foot, and something you can sit on. If you've got blocks, that'll be lush because we can use them again a bit later, but if not, just somewhere you can raise your hips. We're going to do some nice kind of like inner groiny stuff today. So essentially what lifting the hips is about is finding somewhere that we can do a bit of a supporting malasana. So you can kind of turn the toes out a little bit, let the hips open up, just depend on the shape of your pelvis, where that feels comfy. And yeah, we will get straight into it. So take the time you need to get settled and just join me when you're ready. Eyes can be open or closed. And then just take your time to kind of settle into your posture, settle into your space. Whether that wants to look like giving the neck a bit of a stretch, or the spine, taking a couple sighs, or just letting the body make a bit of noise. If the nervous system feels quite charged, quite alive, sometimes a bit of shake of the arms or a shake of the hands can be a nice one. And then we'll find some release, as usual, through a few deep sighs. So take a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Long exhale out. 2 more like that. Really, really big breath in. Go the whole way to empty. Starting to symbolize the release of your day so far. And allowing yourself just to truly begin to land here, to come towards this space of practice, this space of connection, or into a more feeling way of being. I've chosen to start us off in this pose sometimes, as sometimes it can be really lovely to have a little bit of kind of visceral feedback or physical feedback to kind of invite us into these more feeling ways of being, into presence. So I want to invite you to see what it feels like just to gently press into your big toes. And at the same time, press through the little toe side of your foot. And you might feel just a gentle sense like the outer glutes are starting to switch on a little bit, a bit of engagement there. And it might even draw up the spine a little taller. You can invite the shoulders just to gently soften. And then take your arms so you can just subtly press to the inner of the knees and let the knees just gently press back. So it's a soft engagement, but maybe there's just a little energizing through the body. See if you can invite the face to find a bit of softness. Bring your awareness to the flow of your breath. Use that flow just to gently start to check in with yourself and just start to feel into anything that might be present today, anything that you might be holding. I've been thinking recently about this kind of idea of being a whole being, or I guess people would link that to like this idea of completeness or enoughness. But what I think is really lovely in the word whole is there's this kind of imagery of that it's all of it. As Ram Dass says, it's and this too, and this too. It's kind of this embracing of all of the parts of ourselves, our fears, our doubts, our anxieties, all of these kind of all the things that make us us. We wouldn't get to be who we are if it wasn't for every mistake that we might have made. And I think there's something really glorious and really liberating in this kind of welcoming in of a wholeness, coming to ourselves as the wholeness of who we are, not pushing away the parts of ourselves that it can be tempting to. Practice for me is sometimes a place where I just come to sit and do my best to learn to not push those things away. going to be a place where I make space so I can really try to just sort of sit with those things, hold them there as a wholeness of me. So as you check in with yourself today, maybe just see what's in your kind of energetic or emotional makeup and explore what it would feel like just to kind of encapsulate all of it, not trying to name it or solve it, but just breathe in to all of it. You can keep your breath as it is, or if you'd like to find your ujjayi, start to control the breath gently in the back of the throat, and that will gently start to soothe the nervous system. I'm going to be guiding the practice with breath, but if you choose to let your breath flow, you can breathe at any pace you like. If you want to start to move with me, your next inhale, we're just going to gently lift up the chin. As you next exhale, you can draw the chin steadily back down to the chest. Same movement, but we let it expand a little more in the body. This time as you inhale, a little press to the inner of the knees as you lift the chin, and the chest might lift a little more. As you exhale, almost like a seated cat-cow, you can let the shoulders dome forwards. Let the front of the body contract as the chin goes to the chest. A few more like that. So I really love taking a bit of a seated cat-cow on a seat because it starts to become really present what your pelvis is up to, because we've kind of got that direct feedback. And there's a really interesting relationship between the neck and the lower back. So notice how when your head and your neck moves, how the lower back might kind of follow it a little sympathetically. All right, when you're ready, make your way to hands and knees. I'm just going to turn my music down a little bit. Once you've got to tabletop, start to spread your fingertips out nice and wide, so you've got a nice base. And we're going to draw circles today. So just like you're tracing a circle around the base or the circumference of your wrist. Yeah, nice. Start to notice how the wrists are feeling. Are they tender today? Are they feeling strong today? Spacious, sticky? Maybe a combo. You can keep this as it is, or you can turn the fingers out. If you prefer, they can go back behind you and start to go back in the other direction. So you can keep this steadiness of breath and this steadiness of feeling with you. All right, when you're ready, come back to neutral. You can keep that as it was. If you want more weight in the wrists, we've got supporting plank. That would mean taking your hands a little further, or plank with your knees lifted. Another 2 circles in each direction. Okay, when you're ready, let's start to make our way to a downward facing dog. So the feet might want to come in a little closer, and if there are movements that feel good, you want to take today or normally feel good, feel free to start to move, have a little play around. Find that press through the hands and notice the sensations around the feet. Let the chin drop to the chest. One more steady breath here. Next inhale, we're going to lift up the right leg. Take a bend in the knee, open up the hip and just pause. Press the left heel down. One more breath. Exhale, we're going to go knee to nose. Take a bit of work into the core and dome the spine. Press the ground away. Inhale the leg back high. Then we're going to take this into a Vinyāsa. As you exhale, take the foot down. If you know where you're going, you can do your thing. If you're with me, inhale, ripples you forward to a plank. Exhale, the elbows come in, maybe knees come down as the chest comes forwards to lower. We grip with the fingers to open the chest, press through the big toes, and then exhale takes you back, pose of your choice. Might be a nice moment for down dog, could be a nice moment for child's pose, or tabletop if you prefer. Around another 3 breaths here, moving any way that you would like to. Another 2. And 1. Inhale, the left leg lifts.
Bend the knee, open the hip, pause, press the right heel towards the ground. Press through the heels of the hands. Next, exhale, knee to nose, dome the spine. Inhale the leg high. Exhale, foot to the ground. We roll forwards, plank. And we vinyasa. Look forwards, exhale to lower. Inhale to open. And exhale back, pose of your choice. For 3. See if you can slow down the breath if that feels possible. If you need a sigh, you can sigh. If the nervous system needs release, we can flutter the lips. Now, from the pose you're in, we're going to make our way to the top of the mat. So looking to fingers, tiptoes if you're in down dog. Starting to walk, step, or jump your way to the top of the mat. However you get there, we meet Uttanasana, forward fold, little bend in the knee, and the chin can drop down towards the chest. Any movements here if you want to take a little sway. Really see if you can let the head hang out quite heavy. And then let's keep flowing with breath. So your next inhale, halfway lift, draw the shoulders back, engage the low core. Exhale, we fold. We fold from the middle of the body, Uddiyana Bandha. One more like that, inhale, lift. And exhale, softens. Whole way to standing, we open the front of the body, Urdhva Hastasana. Press through the feet, sweep up the arms, look up. Samastitihi. The hands come down through prayer. Eyes can be open or closed. But just really start to root down, press through the feet, acknowledge your presence and your practice that you got yourself here. Gently lift the heart to the thumbs. You can touch the knuckles of the thumbs to the center of the chest. Just breathing in this moment. Breathe it out as you let the hands come down. We're going to take a Surya A. Inhale, sweep up the arms, lift the thumbs. As you exhale, feel free to bend the knees. As you fold, chin drop to the chest, like you're trying to look up to your belly button. Inhale, halfway lift, look to the tip of your nose. Exhale, you start your vinyasa. Hands to the ground. You can walk, step, or jump it back. Exhale, lowers you down. Feel free to drop the knees. Inhale, opens the chest. Drag the chest through. Press through the big toes. Exhale, takes you back. Pose of your choice. 3 breaths. If you've gone to one pose, you don't have to stay in it. You can move around, you can be creative. We're all fabulously different. Body's gonna want different things, need different things. Feel free to make practice your own. All right, we look to the hands, tiptoes if you're in down dog. Walking, stepping, or jumping it forwards. Inhale as your halfway lift. And exhale, folds. Whole way to standing, press through the feet, sweep up, look up. Keep it flowing, straight back down, forward fold. We dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, weight to heels. Exhale, hands to the ground. Walk, step, or start to jump it back. Your exhale or lower if you haven't already. Inhale opens the chest. And exhale takes it back. 3 breaths, pose of your choice. Start to think about Hasta Bandha, engaging through the hands. Maybe Pada Bandha, pressing through the feet. All right, inhale, look to hands, tiptoes if you're in down dog. You're jumping, start to push the ground away. Halfway lift. And fold. One more Surya A, whole way to standing. Exhale, straight back down, trace the breath. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we flow. Walking, stepping, jumping. Exhale, we'll lower. Inhale, we'll lift. Exhale, pose of your choice. Again, 3 breaths. Check in with your neck. Check in with your jaw. See if you can find a little bit of softness in the midst of the strength. One more breath here. All right, and again, we'll make our way forwards. Tiptoes if you're in down dog, look just past your fingers. Walking, stepping, or jumping. We're gonna lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. straight to chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees, sweep up the arms, look to hands. We're going to start to twist. As you exhale, twist towards your right shoulder. You might go forearm to thigh, or you might go elbow to thigh. Let me just turn so you can see me. But we're using a pressure point. Think of the top of your head going forwards, and the right shoulder is trying to relax back. One more breath here. If you want a drishti, you can look to the ceiling. Come back through center, your next inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Again, exhale, fold, feel the middle of the body contract. Then back to chair pose, bend your knees, sweep it up. Second side. Maybe it's elbow, maybe it's forearm. You're gonna press through that pressure point, top of the head forwards, left shoulder back, breathe for 2. Press through the little toes in your feet. Try to bring the breath back in. Inhale, we sweep up, look up. Let's sigh as we fold. Any little movements here? I'm going to come back to both of those poses, but bring it into our sequence. All right. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist. This time start to look to the ground. You're gonna take the weight on towards your right foot and go onto the left big toe. That might be enough, you can hold it here. If you want to, you can start to peel up the foot or even extend the leg back behind you. If you're taking that one, think head forwards. Any of them are great, just see if you can keep breathing, that's the challenge. All right, left foot goes to the back of the mat. Open the arms out nice and wide, so we're in a twisting lunge. Energize the fingers away from one another. One more breath. If you want to test your balance, look to that back hand. All right, we're going to go Skandasana. So you're going to swizzle it round, take the left foot so it turns out. You're dropping your hips whole way to the back of the mat. Press through that right heel. Think of lifting the chest, hands to the ground or to prayer. One more breath. Now we're going forwards, warrior 2. So look where you want to go. Exhale, we shoot it forwards, turn the left toe in. Bend the right knee to land. Soften the shoulders. Try soften the gaze over your front fingertips for 2. For 1, we're going to flip up the front palm, reverse the warrior. Keep bending that front knee, breathing for 2, lift the heart. For 1, we turn the back toe out again. We go back Skandasana. Back to those inner hips. All right, so this time we're going to go forwards again, but we're going to go towards Trikonasana. So it's 2 straight legs. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, shoot forwards. Inhale, reach. And exhale, right hand down. So it might be right hand onto thigh, might be right hand onto shin, might be right hand to the ground. We're going to peel the left arm up and almost feel a little like you're trying to lean back. Press through both the big toes for 2. If you want to do a half bind, left hand around the back. For 1, we look down and we're making our way towards a half moon. So this is where some of us might want to use a block. So you're going to start to bend that right knee. It's the same pose, but on one leg. Right hand goes to the ground or your block as we work on lifting up the left. Breathe for 2. If you want to go Chapasana, you can bend the top leg, take the hands to the foot and feel like you're kicking back. For 1, we're all going to meet. Forward fold, top of the mat. Any little movements that feel nice. And then we're going to go back to that Malasana that we started in. So we're going to turn out the toes and drop down the hips. So might feel nice. You see how you feel today to stay as you are, kind of like this. This one can be pretty intense. So what we're looking for here is to give the legs a little bit of a break. So we can do that by coming back to the seat that we started in. Oh, lovely. Or other way to give your legs a break is to put the weight in your hands. So if you want to go Bakasana Crow and you know where you're going, go for it. If you want some guidance, I will guide us through. So spreading the fingers, because they're what we're using to balance. If you take your toes together here and the knees towards your armpit, this is the shape, lifting the head, but on the ground. So you can map it out without the gravity, or you can bring the gravity in. So hands go to the ground, you keep that contact, start to shift forwards, look forwards. You can hold it there, You can go one toe, use an exhale, or two toes, again, use exhale. If you want to go headstand, any other funky transitions, you fly, you do your thing. And we're all going to meet back in Malasana. Lift the chest and fold. If you had your blocks, take them out the way so they're back at the top of the mat. We're going to start all of that sequence again. Back to chair pose. Bend your knees, sweep it up. And then exhale, second side. We twist to the left. Again, start to look to the ground for balance. You can come to right big toe, you can lift the heel, or you can extend it back. Breathing for 2. And for 1, we're going to step the right foot back and open the arms out super wide. So energize the fingers. Think of pressing the back heel back. Skandasana, back of the mat. You swizzle the whole way around, right toe turns out, and we drop the hips. For 2, lift the heart. See if you can catch the breath. We're going forwards towards warrior 2. So you shoot it forwards, turn the back toe in, arms reach wide for 2. Soften the jaw, the shoulders. Reverse the warrior. Put that left arm up and open. Oh, sound effects are welcome. All right, we go back to Skandasana. Turn the right toe back out. You kind of keep going in the direction you were already leaning in to take the hips back. One more breath. Trikonasana triangle. So it's 2 straight legs. Then peel the left hand forward and then down. Feel like you're trying to open up the side of the body. So the head is reaching forward and the right shoulder is sliding down and back. For 2. Press through the big toes. Reach the right arm up. For 1, half moon. Start to bend the front knee, look down. Left hand goes to your block or to the ground as you work on peeling that right hip up on top of the left. You can stay or you can go Trikonasana, bending the top leg and kicking it back behind you. One more breath. And then feet to the ground. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Take the hands to the backs of the legs. Inhale, we look up slightly. And exhale, slide the hands down towards your ankles. Try to look to the belly button. Breathing for 2. Let the shoulders soften. And for 1, we're going to take a super slow roll up to upright. So you're going to bend the knees, let the arms dangle, and slowly, slowly, slowly peel it up. Plant through the feet. Turn the fingers out, lift the head. Gorgeous. Okay, this is where you're going to get your strap. So we're going to go for a twisted bind today. So your strap, you're going to have it on your left foot and it's going to be in your right hand. If you know you're comfy in a peace finger bind, you're welcome to be there instead. So once you're strapped up, strap stays in the right hand and we go back to forward fold. So I really like this transition, mostly just because I think it's fun, but I really like the using of the exhale and this squeezing in. So the hand on the waist, it's, in my opinion, kind of camp, but it also engages Uddiyana Bandha, and it's a kind of physical reminder because it's this little squeeze to engage the core. Yoga terms, Uddiyana Bandha. Let me explain what I mean. So you're gonna come down. You're going to have a nice grip on your strap. You're going to inhale, shift the weight to your right foot. As you exhale, you're kicking to the strap and starting to engage your core. Some days we've got more balance than others. You're going to lift up the heart. You can keep it there, or if you feel quite steady, feel free to extend the left arm back. If you want to test your balance, look to the left hand. One more breath. I'm going to look back forwards. If you were looking anywhere else, I'm going to switch hands. So left hand goes to strap, and we're opening the hips. Now here where you really want to press through that right foot and lift the chest. Now you switch hands, Uddiyana Bandha. For 2. For 1, go forwards. Now we go both hands. This is more Ashtanga style. We're going to fold to the leg. This is where you really want that core activation. You inhale and fold. Come back up and foot to the ground. Oh, give your legs a shake. Same thing, second side. So this time we'll do it facing the top of the mat. Strap is going to be on the right foot and in the left hand. So start to find that pressure of right hand on the waist or engaging around your bandha. You switch to the left foot, inhale, exhale, kick to lift up. Now a twisted balance is one of the hardest ones. Be kind to yourself if it feels really difficult. You might be holding here and lifting the chest. You can extend back or lift the heart, but just try to stay somewhere that you can keep breathing. We look back forwards, switch hands. Then this time we go out to the side. So left hand to the hip and open for 2. Drishti, soft, and 1, come back. Now, we don't have the hands to squeeze, but we exhale to find a little bit of fold. We come up, ooh, and down. You can take your strap to the side, give your hands a shake, and your legs a shake. I'm really enjoying doing a bit of energy release at the minute, so we're gonna do a bit of that now. So start like you're just trying to kind of dump your heels down into the ground, and then let the arms be really floppy, really loose. If you want to make it feel a little more dynamic, you start to take the breath into it on an exhale. 10, 9, 7, I missed 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, press through the feet and just softly feel into the body. The moving of prana, the moving of breath. Next, inhale, sweep up your arms. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're making our way to tabletop. If you want a vinyasa, go for it. If you're with me, we'll make our way straight there. Any movements when you're there. Then keeping with our twisting motif, inhale the right leg long. Bringing the right foot to the outside of the right hand, we're going to go twisted lizard. So we want to start to drop down the hips. Foot might need to go a little further forwards or a little wider. Inhale the right arm up. And exhale to start to lean back. You can hold, or options, you can lift the foot. Some of us might bind for 3. For 2, steady yourself into the sensation. And 1, we release. And from here, nice and simple, knees back together, child's pose. Same thing, second side, come forwards, pause, left leg behind you, foot goes outside the hand, twisting lizard, we reach up and back. For 3. For 2, like the left shoulder's leaning back. And 1. We release. We take it back. This time I'm going to go to child's pose, but we're going to bring in a bit of a ripple. So as you inhale, you're going to dome the back as you come forwards. And then you're going to open the chest and go hips back to heels. Few more like that. Inhale, rippling forwards. Opening it back. 2 more at your own pace. Let's go to downward facing dog. Using this down dog just to refine this length in the back of the body. Come back to the sensation on your hands. Inhale the right leg up. This time we're going pigeon pose, so we're bringing the right knee towards the right wrist and dropping the back knee down. We're going to ripple, so inhale to lift the chest. You can tent to fingers. And exhale, think heart forwards. So as we inhale, we're finding this little expansion and this kind of press. And as we exhale, it's like this fold and this soften forwards. If they're helpful, take as many as you like. And then come to a place where you can kind of let the upper body rest a bit, whether that's hands, forearms, or head. 4 steady breaths here. Just gently beginning to ground and slow things down a bit. And let's come up to upright and take any props out the way. I'm going to roll the weight to the right hip, bring the left leg forwards. And we're going to go Vinyāsa, so right sole of the foot goes to the ground. You inhale, reach up, and exhale to wrap the arms around. Now, hands might go to ankle, they might go to thigh. Some of us hands might go around or reach. Wherever you are, we inhale to lift the heart. And we exhale to fold to the big toe. For 2. For 1, come back up. And we're going to find second side. So, 2 options to get to down dog. You can use your blocks to kind of find a little press and step. Or we can go through into Vinyāsa, so you decide. That would look like coming up to your boat. And then either Vinyāsa-ing or stepping back. However you get there, we'll meet back in down dog. Same thing. Second side, left leg will lift. And then we're taking the knee towards the wrist and dropping the right knee down. Few ripples first, so the inhale lifts. And the exhale folds. Inhale lifts. Exhale folds. 1 more. And then coming into your hold. 4 breaths there. See if you can let the shoulders soften. Come back to upright. Tip the weight to your left hip and bring the right foot whole way forwards. Left sole of the foot goes to the ground. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. You might hold here. You might wrap the hands back around you. Inhale lifts. And again, exhale folds. 2 more breaths. Come back to upright. Both soles of the feet to the ground. And let's go supporting fish. So you're going to place 1 block for your shoulder blades and 1 block for the head. If you've got a clip, take it out. So block number 1, we're going to shimmy in between the shoulder blades. Block number 2 is a rest for the head. If you've got loads of space in your back, or you want to go deeper, you can have the blocks on that other setting as well. Arms can be any way you like. And let's go for 3 lion's breaths. So it's a big hiss to empty. You can stick out the tongue or even look up to the forehead if you like. Full breath in. For 2. bum. Allowing the breath to soften. Inviting the body to find support. And see what softness, what expansiveness might come from that support. If here feels right today, you're super welcome to stay here for your close. If you know there are last movements you want to take, back bends, twists, inversions, feel free to give yourself a pause and then come to find a comfortable resting pose, a Shavasana, when you're ready. For those of us joining me in Shavasana, let's take a final big inhale. Bring some tension into the body. Squeeze the glutes, the hands, the feet, the face. And then sigh it all out. Just gently beginning to give yourself permission to loosen your grip from the more physical parts of practice. As valuable as they are, as fun as they can be, as frustrating as they can be, we try to earnestly remind ourselves every time that it's just one part of the practice. And it's a tool, it's something we use. So just like you'd use a tool in the house or a tool in the garden, at the end of every practice, we just gently place it down, place the physical poses down. Then this is time to rest, to feel perhaps the physical support of your practice, how that exists in the body. Time to soften and check back in with all the parts of yourself, that wholeness. If you want to stay a little longer, feel free to put me on pause. You know what to do. But if you feel ready to return, we're going to start by deepening the breath, and we're going to guide it a little. Let's take a deep inhale, like you're directing that breath or that prana whole way down to your toes. As you exhale, maybe welcome in just a little bit of movement in that space. Same to the tips of the fingers. And then to the top of the head. And at the exhale, wash down the body. I'm beginning to bring in any movements stretches, sighs, yawns. And then once you decide you feel ready, we will come to seated, where we will close today. If you need anything to support you in seated, like getting props or anything to sit on again, please take your time, feel free. But when you come to seated, I want to invite you to have the palms just gently facing up. Bring your awareness to the palm of your right hand. Bring your awareness to the palm of your left hand. And then feeling them both together. Just kind of notice the space that settles in them. This can symbolize the space that you've taken yourself for today, or the space that you strive to keep holding for yourself. And just gently feel how you're holding it there. We'll take the hands together, Anjali Mudra. Take the knuckles of the thumbs to the center of the chest and lift the chest to the thumbs. We'll inhale and exhale to bow the head. Bowing in reverence to your heart and your hands, your body, and your practice. Jai. Thank you so much, guys. It's always a pleasure. If there's anything you need, if you want to see more, less of anything, or you've got feedback, you know where I am. But for now, just take care of yourself.